Timeout Talk. Timeout Talk.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talk, sponsored by Chase and Throws Custom T-shirts and accessories, the Ice Shaker, the Kirk Minahan Show, and of course, streaming on the one and only Minifan Network, and of course, sponsored by Make It Mac T-shirts. Little rough start here, guys. We are here. We are live. We've got some interesting stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk about some of the Olympics. The men's USA hockey team was able to stumble into a victory. I actually want to say 3 overtime performances in the quarterfinals. Finland, USA, and Canada all going to be on to the next round, and we're all in overtime. So USA was able to get a huge win. We'll talk about that. We've got some top 10s. Ben's got some Wi-Fi stuff going on right now, so he might be joining in. He might not. That's okay, though. We will probably hold off on the top 10s until Ben gets back. So for the viewers, if you guys want to chime in who you guys think are the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, feel free. Of course, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some NBA stuff. We'll talk about a little bit of Bruins if we can get to it. And of course, the NFL free agency is on the mend with plenty to talk about. We've already got a huge breaking story out of Kansas City this past week with Tyreek Hill. So that'll be a big one. And of course, we'll get to your comments as always. I just want to say kind of a wonky week. We are back on a Wednesday. I want to call them the Wild Wednesdays of Timeout Talks. Next week, we should be back. Ben and I had some business that we had to attend to yesterday. So we are live and rolling, though. And we're going to start it off with the men's USA hockey team, who was able to go out and scrape together a last-second victory in overtime. I like that nice 3-on-3 format that's going on there. It was Quinn Hughes, who in the moment, I'm watching him like, what the hell is he doing? He does a back. He literally dekes around his defender, the Sweden defender, gives a backhand. And I'm like, why are you giving a backhand in a 3-on-3? Well, doesn't matter. He was able to make up for it with a wrist shot that sealed USA's fate to move on to the next round, which we will be playing Slovakia. That's going to be a big game. And of course, as everybody's talked about, the competition is going to get steeper and steeper. And everybody's like me, you guys, all the casuals, and the people who are the diehard Olympic fans, we're all looking forward to one thing, and that is Team Canada versus Team USA. And again, both of these countries, were able to go out and barely move on to the next round. Ben, he's got a Wi-Fi issue going on right now, so hopefully we can get him back in here. Short show today, depending. We'll see. Again, we've got some Wi-Fi stuff going on. My network was given a little bit of a hard time too, but we're live. We're rolling. We've got Charlie in here in the chat. Again, want to thank all the viewers for kind of just bearing it out. Our schedule's been a little wonky, but we're here. We're talking men's hockey. Like I said, USA getting the big win. Big news out of today too. Sidney Crosby was not able to finish the game. He got hurt. Team Canada is able to will their way to a huge victory. And this is the matchup that I want to see. I know everybody kind of questions the Olympics. Some people are in on it. Some people are out. Obviously, they made those changes where the professionals within the NHL were able to play. But this is what it's all about, man. I mean, some of these guys want a gold medal more than they actually want the Stanley Cup to be hoisted. I mean, you saw the Kachuk brothers last year in the four-nation face-offs, basically telling us that game against Canada meant more than the Stanley Cup, even though one of the Matthew Kachuk has 2 Stanley Cup trophies. So huge odds on the line there. Again, Let's see if I can get us the bracket here for the men's USA hockey. Again, watching the game, I was like, there is no way that the tied favor. I mean, men's hockey team and Canadian hockey team both came into the Olympics with tied odds. Both teams were on the ropes today. They were able to figure it out. But I'm watching this game. Like, if Sweden knocks us off, that would be insane. I know they've got Dahlin. They've got Erik Karlsson. Their goaltender today played great. I mean, 33 shots, 34, 35, actually 37, I believe it was. Only let in 2 goals. He was standing on his head. I know Getzel for the USA men's hockey team had a couple good wrist shots that he was able to clamp up in that 3-on-3 hockey. Overtime. And I mean, it's just, this is what it all comes down to. I mean, this is Connor Hellebuck. I know this is what he does. He does his thing. He's been unbelievable for Team USA. Canada on the other side, they've had their questions with Jordan Binnington. I know the coach out there was kind of hendering on, are we going to continue to roll him out? He's able to hold it down. And it just feels like to me, as I've kind of set it up for the beginning of the show, that we are on a collision course to the finals. And if you think about it, like I said, if I told you both of these teams were going to be in overtimes, and I didn't tell you what the fate was going to be, you wouldn't believe me, because they were just both so heavily favored to come into this cup. But it's been great. It's been interesting, and it's only going to pick up from here. So that's that. We've got, I believe, crazy as it is, the gold medal match will be at 7 or 8 in the morning. So that's quick. That's just a quick little heads up, because I was kind of thrown off by that. But trying to get to you guys here, the bracket. I don't know where it went. Here we go. See if I can get it here. Yeah, so Slovakia, that's going to be this Friday, 9:10 p.m. game in Italy, 3:10 p.m. game here, right? You're at work, right out of work, 3 p.m. game. That's going to be a big one. That is for the semifinals. And then, of course, we've got the bronze medal game. And then, of course, the gold medal game, which it's leaning like it's going to be Team USA versus Team Canada. We've got Masshole in here saying USA, USA. I know you heard those. I know you heard those chants loud and prominent in the crowd. I did. And again, the Team USA team is just, these two teams are just boats. I mean, you're running out Austin Matthews in Quinn Hughes. You've got even Sabenajad too. He was on the opposite side, but like, there's so much talent out there. It's insane. You look at Team Canada, they've got Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby, and it's insane to see the talent here. And I mean, I'm just excited. I'm excited for it. I get all jazzed up for it. I don't keep up too much with all the Olympics, but I am locked in when it comes to the, Four Nations face off and when it comes to Team USA. So starting the show off with that. We're going to keep the ball rolling here. We're going to move into the NFL. We're going to talk about one of the biggest groundbreaking moves, in my opinion. I know Jared, I know he loves his Miami Heat. He also loves his Buffalo Bills. He's not crazy for this move. I think a little part of him is nervous, and I think a little part of the NFL is nervous for this potential reunion, but I'll leave that tease. But this was a huge, huge cut that was able to come out here. The Miami Dolphins the other day, I believe this was on Monday, had released Tyreek Hill, the 32-year-old veteran wide receiver. He's got a Super Bowl ring under his belt, one of the fastest, speedy wide receivers we've ever seen in the NFL. They were able to save over $22 million. They also cut Bradley Chubb. And I think these are perfect moves for the Miami Dolphins. This is an organization who completely needs to revamp themselves. I mean, they've got to figure out their quarterback situation. They've got to figure out their cap. They just moved off Mike McDaniels. There's a lot to be worked out there, and I think the biggest thing was moving on from Tyreek Hill and getting some cap to kind of assess that situation. I think you look at teams like the New York Jets, Las Vegas Raiders, Miami Dolphins, all in similar situations where I think the Jets and the Raiders are in a little bit better of a situation with the draft compensation that they have there. But all teams that just have to throw all the chips in, just get rid of everybody. If I'm the New York Jets, I'm getting rid of Garrett Wilson. If I'm the Raiders, little different. But I'm thinking about Max Crosby, excuse me. Sidney Crosby on my mind. I'm thinking about Max Crosby for at least 2 first-round picks, maybe a first and a second, trying to get whatever I can to go all in for this guy, Fernando Mendoza, that they love. But bringing it back to Miami, I think that this is a move they had to do. You saw it start to sour. I mean, he's coming off a torn ACL. Personally, I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be able to strap up his cleats, perform well, and I think he's going to do it in a city and with a quarterback and with an offensive play caller that he's very used to, and that is Eric Bieniemy of the Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is a match made in heaven for them. I said last year on the show that this was going to be the trade that the Kansas City Chiefs were able to perform. That didn't end up happening. You know, they were 5-7 or whatever they were, 1-5, and it just wasn't working out. They figured, hey, it's not going to work out. Travis Kelce's on the out. They're dealing with that. Patrick Mahomes gets his injury. Then, of course, Tyreek Hill gets hurt. They didn't end up doing the move last year. Why trade and get rid of compensation when you can just bring this guy back? And that's ultimately what's going to happen, I believe. And I think everybody knows it too. Again, I've been on the precipice here that Patrick Mahomes, he's not washed goods. He's going to be back. If the Kansas City Chiefs can just stay afloat for a few weeks, you know, bringing in Tyreek Hill, he's going to be coming back off injury. I'm not saying he's going to start the season ready to go and healthy, but him and Patrick Mahomes, that nice double tandem there with their play caller that was able to provide them a lot of success, these guys are going to be knocking back on the door of the NFL playoffs. And hey, it just sometimes it takes 1 year to just kind of rebuild. Of course, like I said, we've got no Ben right now. We're kind of just rolling. We'll get to some comments. We'll get to some quick takes, and we'll get you guys off and out of here. But this kind of brought up my next point, and this is what I was trying to get to. Tyreek Hill, where does he go next? I think it has to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are the destination for him. I saw a couple other ones, you know, people flown out the Buffalo Bills, the New England Patriots. I don't think that those two teams are going to kind of take a flyer on him. I think Kansas City kind of fits that mold more. And I know everybody's kind of thinking and wondering, oh, you know, you look at Tyreek Hill, you look at the question marks, 32 years old, a guy, wide receiver that, you know, completely relies on speed. Some will say, I disagree. Why not go back to a place where you're familiar instead of, you know, trying to restart it all up? I know people, excuse me, Jared himself saying, oh, you know, he wants to play somewhere hot. He wants to go to San Francisco or the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think it's just a perfect match made in heaven. And again, with somebody who it's a high risk, low risk, high reward, situation for the Kansas City Chiefs. You bring him in on a 1-year deal. You kind of let him rock it out 2 years if you're really feeling savvy here. He's got the whole crew around him, the whole committee, Andy Reid. I mean, it makes total sense. And the biggest thing too is the cap. You're not paying him all that money that Miami was paying him. You're able to kind of roll him out there because Xavier Worthy, Tyreek Hill, and Rashee Rice sound a lot better than Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy without him. So he's got some guys that he can kind of lean on. He can be that veteran. In Charlie disagrees. He said Tyreek to the Bills. Heard it here first. I mean, this is another team. They need a wide receiver one desperately. I mean, they're trotting out Khalil Shakir. They're trotting out Brandon Cooks and Keon Coleman. I mean, these wide receiver threes aren't going to get it done. And I think a little bit of that we're seeing in Kansas City as well. I think Xavier Worthy isn't the guy that we thought he was supposed to be. I think Rashee Rice has got crazy. I mean, he's still getting some issues that are kind of trickling on in from the offseason that he cannot stay off trouble when it comes to the off the field stuff. So that stuff's trickling in. I do like the idea of him going to the Bills, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Joe Brady's going to take that risk. And I really think that the Kansas City Chiefs are in a perfect situation to take that risk because they know the player they're getting. He didn't even really want to leave in the first place. It was all the money that was thrown over to him that Kansas City didn't have. Kansas City has some other issues. They got to pay Trent McDuffie, and I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to be an expensive wide receiver. I think it's going to be that weird deal that you kind of see. It's like a 1 year, $10 million or a 1 year, 7.5 with all these, incentive-based deals in there for him to get. And I think that's what we're going to see. And this is perfect. This is another situation that has kind of been talked about here. AJ Brown, is he happy? Is he healthy? Does he like the Philadelphia organization? I've never seen a wide receiver win a Super Bowl and then immediately it was like week 1 issues were happening at the start of the 2025 season. I think the New England Patriots makes a lot of sense here for AJ Brown. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I actually think that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to hold on to him. But this is another intriguing situation because the New England Patriots, you just put all your chips in. At this point, you haven't paid your quarterback in Drake May yet. You've still got to pay Christian Gonzalez. That's really the only money-tying contract that you've got coming up here. I think that this is a situation I would do it. I would trade a second. Some people are saying you don't even have to do that unless you're the Buffalo Bills, which doesn't make sense to me. But if this is true and you have to give up a third and a fifth, I am rushing to the airport to do so. This draft is talented. It's stacked, but you know you're getting the for sure thing with AJ Brown. You've got tons of money that you can bring him in, and then you can still make some moves in the free agency. And then at that point, you're pretty much ready for the draft. There's other things you can do before the draft, and you can treat offseason as your draft. So I don't think this is going to happen. I think this is one of those situations where, he's kind of being held hostage in a way, or, it seems a lot worse than it actually is, but I think he stays in Philadelphia. I know the Bills have kind of been floated around, but I think the Bills are going to go for another wide receiver that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But AJ Brown to the New England Patriots, I think it makes sense. Do I think it will happen? Probably not. This Patriots team, they absolutely love to not go out there and get wide receiver ones. They haven't done so since, I guess you can make the argument of that Randy Moss trade, but at the time he was having a harder time than AJ Brown was for the Raiders. So that's something I don't think will happen. Charlie, maybe I'm wrong on that, but yeah, just want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Keep these comments flowing in. Again, we've got some Wi-Fi stuff going on, so if it's lagging, thank you guys for bearing in here. Missed this one from Massel. Austin Matthews coming through to beat Canada would be the greatest. It definitely would. I saw one of his shots earlier. Just having him on the faceoffs is unbelievable. When I'm a Bruins fan, I'm sure most of you guys are, and just having Austin Matthews as just dominating the faceoffs it's something. There's nothing better than that, and I would absolutely love for him to put a frown on Wayne Gretzky and Connor McDavid. And I know Wayne Gretzky's been watching this. I want to keep calling it Stanley Cup. He's been watching this Olympic run very closely. I want that to be kind of dampered. It would be awesome if Austin Matthews, who is suited up for the Toronto Maple Leafs to score a game winner or even score a huge goal in the Gold Cup final there. The gold medal final, I should say. But we're moving on. We are going to move on to the Boston Celtics, who there's been a lot of talk here. There's been a lot of Jason Tatum talk. You're hearing it on 98.5. You're hearing it here. Ben and I have been hyping this up for weeks. Do you bring Jason Tatum back? Do you not? Right now they're sitting second in the Eastern Conference Finals. And see if I can get that up here for you guys. This is a team that the veterans are stepping up. The Sam Hausers, the Peyton Pritchards. Peyton Pritchard has turned into something I never thought I would ever see. And they're able to compete without Jason Tatum. I'm going to keep the same consensus that I've kept. You are probably not going to get the number 1 seed, which again, I don't think matters a ton in the NBA. It's not like the NFL where, the game conditions, and you will be fine with a number 2 seed. I'm pretty sure you won Banner 18 without the number 1 seed. And even if you did, well, I'm wrong in this situation. But you look at the Knicks, they're a disaster. The national media doesn't even believe in this team, the New York Knicks. Same with the Pistons. I think that they're just a little too young. I think one of those teams you got to watch out for is the Cleveland Cavaliers in terms of just kind of being a thorn in your side. But again, this is a team who just went out and got James Harden, who I love, but he's kind of a disaster as well. Another team. It's just, I look at this the Eastern Conference in the NBA, and it's just there's so many playoff teams here. The 76ers, the Raptors are a young team who I didn't even know that they were the 5th seed, but the Magic, the Cavs, the Knicks, the Pistons, all these teams every year they put all their chips in and they don't do anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm just that disassociated with the NBA, but I think the Celtics have a great chance. If Jason Tatum is cleared, hey, maybe I'll back off. It's a minute restriction. But in my book, I don't want to roll the dice. I don't want to risk it. Why am I going to bring Jason Tatum out to play 15 to 20 minutes to then ramp up? And like I said on the podcast a few weeks ago, we all know what's going to happen. Even if he's on a minute restriction, even if he's on that tied down minute restriction, we know in a huge game 7 he's going to go over that minute restriction. I don't want to take any chances. I think the Boston Celtics are in a great position, and I think one of the biggest storylines that doesn't get talked about enough is how well Jaylen Brown has been able to do. I know my guy Jerry here has mentioned multiple times that Jaylen Brown's been doing a great job. He's been unbelievable, and Jerry agrees with me. I don't think exactly. I don't think it makes sense. I think there's a little bit of house money that's being played with. I mean, again, I don't trust the Detroit Pistons at all. I don't trust the Raptors. I definitely don't trust the New York Knicks. I know they eliminated us last year, but they've got some weird injury bug thing. They've got like a Dallas Cowboy thing going on there where they can't do anything since the 90s. And again, I think Jerry's right. I think there is so much talent here on the Celtics. And one of the biggest things that I had a problem with the Celtics coming into this year was the big depth. How many centers are we going to roll out? Who's going to be doing this? Can Kata step up? And I think the other role players who have been unbelievable, Hugo, Amari Williams. I mean, Kata's been great. Nikola Vucevic, he shot the ball pretty well in his first game. I know he was only able to kind of dabble with the Celtics for a little bit here, but I think he'll be able to kind of figure it out. He could be an offensive contributor in the playoffs, a guy that I've just been dying for. Just throw a big man out there that can put up some big minutes and put up some big points there in the playoffs. And I agree with Jerry. I don't think these Cleveland Cavaliers, we hear it every year. James Harden talk about a choker. The 76ers I'm not worried about. Shout out my guy VJ Edgecombe. But again, I guess I want to say it's going to be us and the Pistons, but I do have a weird feeling that the Knicks can maybe make some noise, but I don't trust them going all the way. I'll tell you that much. And I definitely don't trust them to win it all. And I think you look at that Western Conference right now, you got the Spurs, you got the Thunder, you got the Nuggets. I mean, those are 3 teams that I think easily they can match up with anybody. And that's going to be a gauntlet over there. That's going to be a bloodbath. So that is a conference I definitely want no part of. But as Charlie said here, the big man rotation has been huge. I mean, these guys, even like Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard. I mean, Peyton Pritchard, I know he's not a big, but like, again, like all these guys have been playing huge minutes. Peyton Pritchard might be one of the best isolation players in the league. I mean, it's been unbelievable. And I honestly have to give my flowers to James and Jerry. They called it. I said, Peyton Pritchard, he doesn't have it for me. He's off the bench. He's kind of living off the good moment stuff. He's got all this talent around him. Man, oh man, was I wrong. And man, oh man, was this the year to really prove it. I mean, you lost, in my opinion, your best player in Jason Tatum. Peyton Pritchard has to be one of those guys to step up alongside Derek White. He's done it before. He's been a proven veteran who can come in and do it. And he stepped up and do it. He's been huge. P-Rabbit, as Jerry would call him. Jerry likes this. He agrees. And Kata, too. I mean, the Boston Celtics are playing chip basketball. Everybody's chipping in. Everybody's doing what they can. And it's all built around Jaylen Brown. Again, my NBA knowledge right now, I'm just kind of diving back in. I'm not too focused on the Eastern Conference, but right now, just looking at it, I'm not too concerned with the Pistons. Again, another young team. Shout out my guy Jalen Duran. I know he just got suspended for that fist fight, but I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. In the way the Boston Celtics are playing, 7 of their last 10, 7-3. I mean, this is a good team. This is a team you don't want to see in the playoffs. And I'll tell you one thing right now: if Jason Tatum does come back, he's going to come back, and he's Jason Tatum. He's going to be good. I know everybody's been worried about that, and I am too. Trust me, I don't think he should come back, but I think it's going to be a light switch on. I really do. I think modern technology, I think the way that the NBA plays now, it's not as physical. I think he'd be able to hop right back in and drop some valid points. Do I think we should do that? Probably not. I think we should probably hold off on Jason Tatum. I think, like Jerry said, he said it perfectly. This is a team that's playing with house money. It's free money, similar to your Patriot way, similar to the all we got, all we need. Same thing. This is a Celtics team. This is a Boston team playing with house money. Don't bring back Jason Tatum. Don't roll the dice there too much. We've got some interesting. Oh, man, I'm done. I mean, the NBA dunk contest, the 3-point contest, this is something that I used to be huge into. I actually want to give Jarrett credit. He was able to, I know he does this thing. If you guys don't know, for the people watching, our good friend Jared Houston, we've actually interviewed him on the show. 1,000-point scorer at Emerson. Going to be in the Hall of Fame there when they have one. Huge, great big man there. He is actually coaching the Skyforce team, which is the Sioux Falls Skyforce, the Miami Heat's G League affiliate, and he called it. He said, "Hey, watch out for this kid on our he's been on our Skyforce program. He's going to come in. He's going to win this dunk contest." And he did it. I know there was Mac McClung kind of posting his stuff on TikTok, and my thing is the dunk contest, the All-Star. I mean, all the All-Star series. I think the NBA does a better job than the NFL, but all the All-Star series, all the All-Star weekends right now, they need to figure out something. They need to reconform. I think the NHL's in the right decision. But when you look at the NBA, it's kind of a joke. I mean, Damian Lillard was in the dunk contest. No disrespect. I mean, the 3-point contest, excuse me. No disrespect to Damian Lillard, but I mean, this is 3 times they're trotting him out here. We got to bring in some other guys, and especially the dunk contest, we got to bring in the stars. I mean, in all the years that LeBron James has been in the league, he hasn't done it once. I'm not saying to do it now, but it's just the point. And I get it. Guys don't want to get hurt, but guys don't want to play. And Charlie, this you bringing up the dunk contest brings me into another point. Another issue that me and Jeff, shout out my buddy Jeff, have talked about is the load management. And this kind of goes all in force with why guys don't want to play in the dunk contest, is because why risk it? Why risk injury? We don't even want to play 82 games as it is. So we're just going to sit out and do our thing. But no disrespect to those G League guys, no disrespect to some of those guys in the NBA. But if you're on the bench, if you're not a star name, you need household names in the Pro Bowl, in the All-Star games, in the MLB. I mean, MLB, I think, is probably, I mean, at one point it was one of the best ones. They were actually playing for deciding who's going to get home field advantage. At least they kind of take it a little serious. I know the NBA, they tried to this year. They tried to say they were playing more physical defense. Come on, give me a break. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, that everybody was hyping up his performance. It wasn't anything insane. I mean, the defense was not there. And Rob, you missed the Team USA hype up. We already got to that. Again, we've got a few more minutes here. We're going to be cutting things a little short. We were supposed to do our top 10 for the NFL quarterbacks. We're going to hold off on that till Ben is here. We've had some network issues. So we're going to kind of just push on through with that. We've got plenty of comments here today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on this Wild Wednesday. We've got Tony. Dunk contest was only cool when Jordan was playing. I agree. Those good old guys. I think the Shaqs, the Blake Griffins, Tracy McGrady, all those guys. Rob Curry. That's another one too. Men's USA team walked in the game tonight. The boys were buzzing. They did. They definitely locked in. That was a huge win for the men's team. Again, where it's all building up for that Team Canada versus Team USA. Final minutes here. We're going to get to any last comments that we can. We talked about some Tyreek Hill. Again, today is the 18th. We've got about 3 more weeks until the NFL free agency. I believe next week or the week after, we're going to hopefully get James on, hopefully get some of his takes. We're going to bring you your Patriots, what they should do, their priorities this offseason. We're going to get you some Cowboys priorities offseason. And of course, we're going to get you some Pittsburgh Steelers from courtesy of Ben's point of view, some priorities, what they got to do this offseason. Free agency is on the mend. We've already seen teams like the Chiefs kind of reconstructure. We talked about Tyreek Hill getting cut. Bradley Chubb getting cut. We saw my boy today, Christian Parker, talk about at the presser. So again, we'll dive more into that. And of course, when Ben's back, when I'm back next week as well, we should be back live on Tuesday. I know I promised that last week. We kind of went off schedule. We had some things we had to do yesterday to get to, but yeah, Sneakers, thanks for coming in, man. Thanks for coming in. We've got we're on a few different platforms right now. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. So that's all right. That's good. Love you too there, Jerry. I just want to say congratulations on your second child there, Jerry. And of course, Rob, here we go. That's true. Rob was our first ever guest, but I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We've tried to get you guys a quick little show here. Like I said, next week we should be back on track. We're getting to some top 10 NFL quarterbacks. So maybe this week, post some top 10s. If you got an NFL top 10 list, you want to give it to me, we can break it down next week on the show. We're going to talk all the Olympic breakdowns. We're going to get into the NBA. And of course, in the next few weeks, we will get you our NFL free agency contingency plans for the Cowboys, Steelers, and the New England Patriots. Rob, I've been hyping this. I've been hyping them up. I'm going to end it with that. I just want to say thank you to everybody again for tuning in. The Sneakers, the Rob, the Jerry, the Charlies. And I'm going to leave it like this. Shout out Team USA. We're going to get a rematch in the gold medal game. It's going to be Team USA versus Team Canada. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Time out, talks. Time out, talks.